So for you guys who are not aware, Pax Dei were running their second alpha test this week, and me and the boys from Pirate Gaming, as the previous time, we got really stuck in. I am a big fan of the concept of Pax Dei. I'm a big fan of the devs. They're very transparent, they're very communicative, and I'm very much behind this project. And there's a few things that are absolutely, concerning, and there's a few feedback that we would like to give. But I didn't want to just bring feedback just from me. I wanted to bring the feedback from everyone who has been checking streams, checking content, being a part of the alpha, and as kind of a collective feedback, throw together our feelings and our opinions on this particular alpha. I think this one has been a lot more negative compared to the first one, considering the lead up to this alpha was very, it was the introduction of PvP, it was the introduction of combat a bit more, it was the introduction of what essentially was going to be the part of the game that really drove essentially the playability, right? Which then you can layer the content on top as long as we have this strong base. But to be completely honest with you, very top level opinion, combat just needs real time to cook, and the crafting and the systems that we've experienced was a real off-put to a lot of people that tried this for the first time this time round. It felt like things were strung out a lot longer, it felt like things weren't as quick as last time, and that's okay as long as we kind of start to look at the reasoning around that. And that's kind of what we're doing in this video. So for you guys who weren't a part of the alpha, for you guys that are interested in Pax Dei, this is really a video for you guys on our opinions. We probably put 50-60 hours into the alpha, and it's still got, at the time of recording, a couple more days. Basically, this is our feedback. This is what we feel at the current stage of the game, where things are at, what our feedback would be. I will be posting this into the Discord as well, but I wanted to bring this to a wider audience. Maybe it gets no views, maybe it does, who cares? But I wanted to bring this as a bit of a video for you guys that are interested in Pax Dei and really enjoyed the content that we put out last time. So this is the plan. We've all kind of experienced a little bit of Pax Dei, whether you played the first alpha, whether you've had a chance to play the second alpha, or you've seen some streams, or you've read some information, or you've watched some well, you've watched some YouTube videos. Let's get started with your pros. So the way we'll do this is just spam me, let me know in chat what you think is a good part of the game, and we'll start to make some notes. If I miss it, just get it back in, and we'll start to expand on these bits of information. Pros: crafting depth, I like that. Material variation to collect things and make things is fantastic. I like that. So we'll try and header some of these. Crafting depth, crafting complexity. It's funny because that could be in both pro and con. I agree. I think the crafting system is very nice. I think it has a lot of depth to it, and I think it could be a way to keep people in the game for a long time. I like that. Graphics, fucking beautiful environment. I agree. Beautifully large environment. Like I agree. The environment and the graphics are stunning. We put in there lovely lighting. Exclamation mark. Different variation of trees and stuff looks amazing. Very nice graphics. they resisted dragons. Graphics and music. You like the audio? Bro, looks so optimized to me. Not many in-game stutters. So this is an interesting one. The optimization feels good. I agree with you. Day one, they had a lot of issues. The issues seem to be logging in, and some issues with like boxes and permissions and things like that. The game seemed to hold up pretty well. Good progressive craft system. The temperature is unlocked for more craft. We'll put that there. Good crafting progression. Optimization. Game looks mint. Can't wait to try it. Good plot customization. So what? Just quickly, we'll expand on this. I want to know your. Can you write in chat what your experience has been if you've played the game with the plot system? The first time we had a plot system, we had real trouble with it. This time there seems to still be trouble, but vastly improved from where we were before. This will probably be applying to you guys that are playing with at least 3 or 4 people. What happens is you have this circular plot. Once you then place it to a second plot, it becomes like a lot like this. It goes from this to this. And it just expands. What happens is if you then bring in the third, I don't have another fucking hand, but it does something like this. You can create a bit of an odd shape off the back of it. Pro ability to share plot systems is great. Great system. Okay, so far there's been no real bad issues with the plot system. Okay, so far we got our pros. Crafting depth, crafting complexity, and crafting progression seems to be good for the vast majority of us. Now, I know Lyric jumped off a cliff when he saw the amount of wood variations required. Who's that sexy man in the back? But I think that comes with what our cons are going to be. Graphics, of course, graphics was huge. Beautifully like the large environment. I think 300 square kilometers is fantastic to see. But that will be, yeah, we'll talk about content in a minute. The lighting's good, and then it's well optimized from what I can see. Anything else on the pros, boys? Feels really good to play with others. So good teamwork, really. I'll put a nice game to play in a group. Teamwork required. Again, I think we can say teamwork's required, but it's not required. You could play solo. It's just going to take a lot longer, right? A heck of a lot longer. I think the HUD is good, not too cluttered. You like the UI? Definitely not a bad UI. I think we've seen better for sure, but at the moment it's yeah, it's nice. UI is nice. Okay. Can play solo. Way more benefit to playing groups. Yes. Different types of wood is good. Makes the game a large-scale tribe type like Atlas. You need a lot of people to be able to collect all the different types of resources. Lots of variations of resources. Wait, when we say lots, there's like, I swear we're getting into the thousands of resources. The amount of like, if you get one single piece of wood, you can then craft that into like 10 different types of wood. Then you can get the heartwood, which I think you can use for other shit. And then I think there's another set of wood that we haven't been able to harvest yet, which will take you to another set of wood. So let's put here, huge variation of resources. We've definitely seen it in some MMOs where you end up using the same 5 resources that will it's like 10 pretty much. You still end up using the same resources to craft a real different amount of weapons and armor, but it's the same resources over and over again. Didn't feel the need to wait for minutes. Okay. As it stands, it's good. Okay, so I know what you were waiting for. These cons. Let's try not to get too aggressive on these. Constructive cons. Yeah, we are late to the raffle. I'm sorry. This feedback form is making us late to the raffle. Don't worry, there's keys to give away in a minute, so you can come in and give your cons. Okay, let's give it to me, boys. Flax. Abandoned houses at spawn place. Well, that will be, if you don't swipe, you're going to lose your houses. Stack sizes. I agree. Stack sizes are weird. It needs to be bigger. You think smelting time is... So, stack sizes I absolutely agree with. How do we... it's very hard to understand, because if you think about it, the progression in the game is taking long. Now, we need to talk about it from a small group's perspective and then also a large group perspective. We're coming from a large group perspective. I don't know if I can show you how many people we got in the clan currently. Let me just get rid of this. Now, a lot of the guys aren't playing, but on the first 2 days, there was a lot of effort being put into funneling resources. Now, there's a lot of us here, and it has taken... Vez has sat at the weaponsmithing desk. Banana's been at the blacksmithing desk. Fame's doing leather working. Sozzy's on the tailoring. And all these kind of skills will work together. So I agree that it's taken a long time. If that was a solo player, it would be really difficult. But we are also only a few days into the alpha. I am not mad at how long it takes to do things. From my point of view, I'm mad that it. I don't want to. We can put the con down of how long it takes, because it will be very difficult for solo players. But what I'm more annoyed about is the quality of life around the boxes. So for me personally, we shouldn't attack the progression system just yet, but we should attack the quality of life system. So for example, let me just prove a point quickly. Let's go to our base. Let me just get rid of this fucking screen quick. I'm not going to argue with you because this is really feedback from you guys, but I just want to put a little bit of a point across. All of these systems that we have up and running here, there's a lot, but we also have a huge storage system. Now we have a lot of storage around what we call the kitchen here. Let's just roll with the kitchen. What needs to be happening is if there is a load of food in here, we got whatever this is. There's some meat in here somewhere. We got intestines and stuff. If I now come across to the crafting station, what would be very helpful and probably help everyone's opinion on the progression is that I don't have to now go and find animal intestines, boar shank meat, and lard from random storage chests that have no signage or anything of the sort. So I think a huge issue of the progression system is down to the quality of life. If every crafting station pulled from your boxes nearby, I think that would support this progression system. Now I could be wrong on that, but that's my thought. So we'll put in progression system, and we'll put a question mark next to it because I think this is a huge part for everybody. But we'll put in here, we'll put in crafting, storage, quality of life, and we can expand on this a little bit more. So we would do pull from nearby plot chests. This is quite a big part. So boys, I'm gonna read all your comments as well. I'm gonna scroll back up in a second. Jumps between ears. Stack sizes. Stack size is whiny. How much can a person carry? Not much. The stack size argument comes into play when you need to go from here to a place outside of any building area, and you can only get enough resources to come back, which then you have to smelt for like 8 hours, and then you have to go back again. You know, this is a 20-minute walk, so you're looking at an hour's journey for, you know, less than a quarter level of weaponsmithing, for example. So people were suggesting stack sizes because one off the crafting, one off your inventory, one of the storage stack sizes. I saw something there quickly. Let me just scroll up. I don't agree it enables lazy crafters. I agree. I understand the idea that taking resources from boxes will make things lazy. I can agree with that, but the issue at the moment is the progression system is extremely long. And if I go to, for example, where our woodworking was, because of everything kind of becomes intertwined with each other, so it's quite hard to get this down. But all these different types of wood, for some of these, you're gonna need to craft the vast majority of all these, place them somewhere, and then go and find them. And just that alone, with the sheer amount of wood you can craft, is just a very, very cumbersome and very pain in the arse system. So if you could craft all that, pop it in a chest, organize that chest, and know that when you go to a carpentry bench, and then pick up, you know, your rough wooden planks, your iron hinges, and your nails because it's in your chest that you've already crafted, I think that will relieve a lot of the crafting stress and the crafting issues with people. That was kind of the idea behind it. So that was definitely something that we've spoke in great length stockpiles, in great length about. So pull from the road, plot chests, and then so yeah, so stack sizes. So we're talking about stack size will be inventory, and then boxes, storage boxes. Let me scroll up a bit, boys. I'm gonna get these soon. Game is perfect. I like that. I like your thinking. They need to add wagons. We'll come up with let's put suggested features. We can add that in at the end. Boys, I'm losing control of this. Forgive me. I'm losing control. There's too many cons, man. We're going to end up with everybody mastering everything eventually, so the community engagement is going to drop as the game ages. Lack of gathering and/or moving large amounts of materials. Hand carts, pull carts would be good, yeah. Would also not be bad if they had signs for chests. Stack size inventory, storage boxes. This is kind of like the same area. Chest signage, or just some sort of signage. We're gonna evolve on that. From stack size on purpose, making things challenging and not instant, force you to grow and work together. Yeah, I absolutely agree with you, Sub. What we need to take into consideration is from my point of view and a lot of our community's point of view is over the last, we did the first alpha, and then we've done the second alpha. We have had 4 people do nothing but stand at crafting stations for literally 5 days straight. Like since the alpha started, we'll take Vez for example. Every time you've seen me come back to base, Vez has been sat at a crafting station and doing nothing but crafting. So I fully understand that things need to be challenging. You need to work together. But this is 5 days straight being fed shed tons of iron. If you now take that to a group of 5 rather than a group of 50 people, how long is that going to take someone? 3 months, 4 months just to do one profession? And the issue we have is that if you don't allow someone to grow relatively similar, you're going to have this big guild that has force-fed someone with all the gear absolutely dominating these other guys that need to catch up. So it's fine. I absolutely agree with you. There needs to be challenging. It needs to not be instant. It needs to be a challenging system. You're right. It's got to be challenging, but there's the balance, and this is where I'm kind of coming with the quality of life system. It could make it easier for most people if we can have that quality of life. But I don't know, man. I don't know the right way out of this. I think it's in a very difficult situation. I think the biggest takeaway is that the crafting system for the vast majority of people is it's tough. In the community, you're usually funneling players anyway, so that would be your specialized crafters for us. That makes total sense in the first place. Yeah, I agree. Is there an option to recycle items? No recycling. That's a great suggestion. No recycling and or salvaging. To expand on that slightly, a suggestion has been if something takes 10 steel to craft, whatever, let's just use as an example. If someone takes 10 steel to craft, you can run it back through the furnace and you get 2 steel back. So it's not really aiding you in too much of a way, but you don't then have to throw... Vez has probably crafted about 1,000 weapons at this point. We don't have to throw 1,000 weapons on the floor. He can gain something back. That's a great suggestion. I agree with that one. Stockpiles. Expand on stockpiles. So not just a bigger storage box. Stockpiles as in like a silo of oil. Or a silo of grain. Storage transport system enhanced by a pouch backpack. We'll pop that in as suggested features. I agree. Transport system. Maybe horse and cart, something like that. I don't know, resources. Okay, that's suggested. Sorry if I'm not keeping up with the conversation, I'm scrolling down. You cannot craft signs at the moment. We got chest signage in here. People just want to plant a cookie cutter, wow mechanics and everything. Let me have a 100 slot bag with ability to stack. I disagree. I don't think the idea is that. I think it's just making sure that, you know, we've run around the map today. Yes, it's an alpha, but the vast majority of people have stopped at a very early stage because they're just met with too much resistance at the moment. Chest auto stack. That could be a suggested feature. axe. Even the first axe should be able to cut any tree. Just how fast you get it. I like. I'm gonna pull a stream of privilege on you and say I disagree. I like the idea that there is multiple trees. Like, for example, on here, you can't cut these trees off the bat. You need better steel to do it. I like the idea though. It could make sense that it just takes us such a long time that you can't craft it. But I think we'll leave that one out for now. Once in crafting, you can barely do anything. So you can. Do you think potentially being able to walk away from a crafting bench? Tough and not rewarding. So maybe we could put here. I've heard a lot of people complain about this that are doing the crafting, having to stand at the crafting bench. So maybe if you want to queue up 10 weapons, you could do that and then walk away, is what we're suggesting. Smart ability to reuse metals from items. We got recycling. No recycling and or salvaging. Having to stand at the crafting bench is tedious with the current amount of weapons or let's say the current amount of crafts you need to progress level. Probably need more logical progression lines through the crafting too. Good example is the furnace that was an upgrade and was what we needed to make steel. Need a ton of steel to even make it. was that true? So for us to get the furnace to smelt our steel, did we really need steel for that? No. Yeah, I remember that was the way it was. What was it in the end, Banana? In the end, we needed a different unlock. Can you remember what it was? Like, was it just like off a fucking mob or some shit like that? They just named it wrong. Okay. Yeah, we were for ages. We were like, how do we melt steel if we need steel to make the furnace to melt the steel? It's like, what? Yeah. Okay, something random. Okay. Crafting bench shanties. Yes, it's like when we were in the mines of Moria. When we were mining, they were singing. They were singing the Dwarven songs. We need some of that. I agree. Bed respawn at my base. No base respawn. That was nice in the first alpha. Perhaps I think this should be relatively difficult to achieve. So maybe after a bunch of progression, you could then start to spawn back. But the issue is you don't want it to be too easy off the get-go. What you want is that once someone's grinded their ass off, they would then have the ability to just. Maybe I'm wrong here. I probably am very wrong, but you would then have the ability to bring in some. It's that quality of life of not. I don't know. I don't know about this one, to be honest. The base respawn in alpha was very, very nice. It was a lot of stress gone out the window. I wouldn't know the best route for them to implement this. It's like any game, right? Like if you've run the same route 1,000 times, it's gonna get very tedious and very annoying for you. If you've run that route 500 times, could you then skip that? Then would that give you an advantage over someone else who can't skip it? Yes, of course. So I don't know if that would be like a bit broken. Yeah. If people can't just do it and avoid PvP. But yeah, no base respawn. Nice to have perhaps a long timer to avoid exploiting it. Some shit like that. Yeah, I agree. Something like that. Cons. Okay, boys. Let's get into the combat, right? So we got stack sizes, inventory, storage boxes, chest signage. That's something that we would like to see improved. The progression system is a bit iffy. Crafting / storage quality of life. Pull from nearby plot chests. No recycling and or salvaging. Having to stand at a crafting bench is tedious. No base respawn, but avoid any exploiting. Combat. I guess the leveling is rough too. If you remember, we spoke about it once. You'd be a master. We immediately gain no XP from it. Yeah. No XP from crafting. What was it called? No XP from crafting mastered. It might be mastered or trivial. Let's just no XP from crafting mastered resources. Even a very tiny amount will make brains happy. Okay, combat. What combat? No post combat efficient heals. Crafting backpack for more loot. Yeah. We got a transport system down there. Maybe we can put backpacks there. Yeah, so a lot of us... So the issue of the combat... The issue of the combat feedback really is going to be a lot of us haven't really experienced it, right? My understanding was that this alpha was about combat, so we were hoping to see very fast crafting to get into combat, whether that's PvE or PvP. What they have introduced, for you guys who are not too aware, is if you wield a weapon now, whatever that may be, if you... Oh, fuck, can't see it. If you look bottom right, you can see just below that key giveaway that I should be doing, there is now, on control, on the two on the left, you'll have 2 weapon skills there. One will be the shield bash, boink, and one will be, you know, this kind of hit or whatever it is. You can swap that out and use your... So they've introduced these animations, which are quite nice. But the issue is we haven't really had a chance to test the combat, and when we did test the combat, it was very floaty. Yeah. I think you guys I've kind of mirror what you're thinking here, is that the combat system is I don't know how the... Yeah, like you said, I don't know how they're going to salvage what's currently there. Addressing PvP is iffy. Yes. Combat is garbage. Base healing pot relies on very specific plants, so we're able to test that. Yep. And as well as the magic I saw about like healing spells, then healing and stuff comes into the game. But if you think about it, we're kind of a week in, and we've got a couple of players with some healing spells, but they're few and far between. They almost need to go to a skill-based combat. I really like the last way system. Lackluster. I think the best way to describe combat is dog shit. Okay, so we're not great fans of the combat. I thought they said in one of their videos that dodge was available, but was based on your armor. I took that to mean maybe light armor would have, but medium and heavy won't. There is some weight limit somewhere, but I don't think we've got a chance to do it. We're very the wrong button. We don't have much armor on us at the moment. Who's that naked guy? Looking good, mate. Looking good. Combat is rough. I don't know if I can give your actual feedback here, boys. Dog shit. I don't know if that's the movement's very clunky as well. Combat is rough. Combat. I don't know if I can put this into words. Combat feels floaty, clunky, and do you mind dog shitty? It's like sticky, right? One of the things for me is I really didn't like when you play a game and I can't kind of sidestep, so you kind of get like locked into place, and I know that it's a bit more realistic than maybe you know, running full speed and popping an axe swing or something, but this makes you feel very very slow and yeah, and very not fluid. I agree. Very clunky, restricted, not fluid. Floaty, clunky, restricted. It's like desyncy is not a word. We're going with though. Feels very desyncy when you're engaging combat with a wolf or a bear or a human. It feels very very desyncy. You can't take a step back. You turn around unless you're... You can't take a step back. You turn around unless you're holding block. Just slow. Just slow. Needs a full rework. The issue is like... The issue is the term of like a full rework is kind of rough because I like the animations. If they could turn on the ability to kind of move, that would be nice. And then if they made it feel meaningful. I was listening to Narc the other day actually, and he said, do any of you guys played Enshrouded? If you think about Enshrouded, how responsive the keys feel when you move, when you touch, when you press to go forward. You know, there's no like a delay. It feels very delayed on this. When you press A or D, it feels like there's a delay. I'm getting old and I'm a bit shit these days, but I don't think it's my brain lag. So yeah, desynchy, slow, and delayed. Generally feels like it needs a lot of work. Okay. Welcome in, guys, who's joining. We are just quickly going through our feedback. Is there any more cons that I may have missed during chat there? If you want to give feedback on the playtest, then you should probably bring up the fact that it was supposed to be a PvP test, but nothing was provided for you. So I'm going PvP straight away. Absolutely agree. What I'm trying to do here is just give feedback on what we've experienced, not on what we kind of haven't experienced yet. I will, of course, let them know that a combat test without combat is kind of rough, but you know, we'll go with what we got. Okay then, if there's nothing else really, I think we've kind of covered the majority of bits here. And let's finish it off with, is there any suggested features that you guys think would be good without going too wild, like let's bring in the fucking dragons from Game of Thrones and fly on them with, you know, a super hot girl flying on them. Is there anything that would make sense within reason with the current system? VoIP, so we can shit talk each other. Yeah. Wheelbarrow. I will put that on the transport system. Wheelbarrow. Brighter interior. Yeah. Brighter lighting for interior. Mounts. Delete the game. Oh, get that in. Get in. Restricting building in PvP zones to discourage major building. There is no building in PvP zones, so that's all good. Better monetization. I don't know how to put this. I'm going to take over a bit. So the idea behind this, rethink the monetization. I think the monetization will work. Just a normal sub system will be fine. Just give us, I'll pay off for sub fame. We'll leave it at that for now. It needs to be discussed for sure. We'll leave this one at the end. We'll do more cooking at the end. More time to cook. How about a more content-rich environment? What I mean by that is, at the moment, the environment. Well, this will probably happen, but more animals, more wildlife, more more things going on in the world because it feels very quiet. I think that's. Bring back the rabbits. Feels very dead in the world. I think that's something they will do, but we'll put that there. Now, a quick thing about the biodiversity. Gardening. We want a vineyard. Vineyard for our grapes. Because grapes are a pain in the ass to find. Gardening, farming, yeah. Gardening, let's just put farming. Oh, shit. So a quick one about the PvP. PvP, they have discussed this. So, I don't know exactly how this is going to go down. But, as far as I'm aware, the idea is when you get to the PvP zone, at some point in the future, let's assume at this point they fixed the combat, they fixed blah, blah, blah. We go into the near future, combat's looking good, crafting's good, nice quality life, blah, blah, blah. You get into the PvP zone. I think there was a discussion somewhere about being able to claim something in the open world, which then could be fought over. They also spoke briefly about the idea of rivalries between clans. So lots of people hate my community because we're wankers. You want to come and fight us? Great. Let's siege each other, essentially, and that will happen somewhere, potentially potentially in the PvP zone or somewhere. So let's just put in here guild v guild siege and more reasons to visit the PvP zone. Claimable, repairable structures. So, you know, for me, I like the idea of going to the PvP zone, claiming a broken down structure, and then farming all the resources around this area, knowing that you're in a PvP zone, and repairing this structure up. Something like that, right? And then you guys who hate us, you know that we're there, it's marked on the map, you come and kill us, right? Something along those lines. And maybe off the back of that, we get some extra rewards or premium currency. Whoa! I'm just kidding. Get rid of that. So something like that. So the PvP stuff and the GVC stuff, not too sure about. And then of course I think, yeah, just more PvE content. Right, let me just see what else you guys have suggested here. Fishing, sure. How about boats? Small Viking boats to row up rivers. Yes! Chest of Voidman gear. On topic! No booba slide. Well, booba slide would be great. Build streets. Oh, I saw something about the market. A decent trading market system which can be used in the larger cities, even when AFK. I do not want to stand behind a stall and sell you my goods. You can come to it. Maybe there's an NPC behind it and you can buy from it and we put the goods in the market, whatever, maybe something like that. Location specific market trading, not global market place. Yes. So the way I think that they're going to do this is we have city A, there is city B. We need to understand why we would trade between each other at the moment. There is no point, right? So this will happen when maybe the maps expand, and at the moment, well, let's pretend we're in Norway. They're going to open a new map which has resources from Turkey, you know, and we're going to have different styles of buildings that can be built, and you're going to need to really go between each other and trade. They need to find a reason behind that. We were also thinking of if we are a big clan and next to us is a small clan and we have access to steel and they don't, and we don't want to farm flax anymore, we can trade steel for flax or whatever resource, something like that. Compass. Right, boys. Regional by Shire. Yeah. Any other thing? So that's pros, cons, suggested features, and I think we've done a pretty good job. Top leveling this. We could talk a lot about this. Improving the crafting system. Place orders with crafters, but perhaps that comes within the level of decent trading market system. Decent. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I don't know how to put that down. Okay. Every night that enemy players show up on map in PvP zone combined with similar speedrun. Similar run speed stamp. Almost all PvP games are by consent at the moment. Remove showing players in the PvP zone on the map. Yeah, you need to be able to ambush larger groups and stuff, right? I think there's some more good ideas coming through, but I think these are really in line with what they've got so far. So a transport system we know is be very important for our resources. Auto sorting chests, VoIP. We've also got chest signage up here, or no chest signage. So no chest signage. Cons are kind of mixed up with suggested features. Brighter line for interior mounts, monetization system. Bring back the rabbits, more wildlife, animal husbandry, gardening, farming, fishing, small Viking boats to row up rivers. GVG Siege, reasons to visit the PvP zone. Claimable repairable structure would be cool. More PvE content. A decent trading market system which can be used in the larger cities. Remove showing players in PvP zone. And a compass. I think this is cool. I think this is a really good, decent set of feedback that's come from most of you guys and me chatting a bunch of stuff. And I will break this down. I'll give it to them. Maybe we'll put it on YouTube or something. But yeah. I think we'll leave it at that. An automated raffle system. We'll stop this bit. We'll keep talking about it for the rest of the stream, but I'll get this raffle done. So thank you all for contributing to that. Sorry if I missed some. I was got a bit fast with my old brain, but yeah.